Hello and welcome to another edition of the Fatu Network News Review today, Tuesday, 25th September 2018. My name is Omar Wali. I'll be looking at the newspapers and I'll be talking to Fatu Kamara as well from Washington, D.C. on President Barrow chartering a flight with only his wife and the director of press, and while the other officials also boarded a different plane. I'll be also talking to someone from the APRC party about what he make of this development by President Barrow chartering a flight to the United Nations General Assembly. But before all that, I will start with the standard. Imam Babali disagrees with OJ, wants President Barrow to serve 10 years. That is the Imam of Kanifing Estate, Babali, has for the first time publicly disagreed with his cousin, Omar Amadou Diallo, the leader of PPP, who has been a staunch critic of President Barrow and want Barrow to serve only 3 years instead of overstretching his tenure in office. Suburban Imam is regarded by many as a close confidant of the outspoken veteran politician, better known as OJ Jallow. Imam Babali also said he is OJ Jallow but not PPP, and he said he even told former President Jawara that he supports OJ Jallow but not the PPP party. And he also said OJ never forced him to support or even call him or invite him to attend his political rallies throughout his political career. OJ Jallow served as the agriculture minister in former President Jawara's administration and under President Barrow until when he was removed by Barrow during the cabinet reshufflement. Babali also said he is not interested to run for any position in the upcoming election at the Gambia Supreme Islamic Council. And Babali, who is considered by many as a disciple of OJ Jallow, said he has his opinion and he can disagree with OJ Jallow. And he also said the relationship between Barrow and OJ Jallow was wholehearted until recently when things turned sour. But he said he will do everything humanly possible to ensure that that relationship is mended between the former agriculture minister and the current president of the Gambia, Adama Barrow. And TRRC will seek to avoid another Jammeh, that is the executive secretary, has said that the Truth Commission will seek to avoid the re-emergence of the another Jammeh in the Gambia. Speaking over the weekend at the Father Farrell Hall in Westfield, during a commission first town hall meeting themed Never Again, Baba Gallo remarked that, and coalition surrogate also rebukes Fabakary Tombong Jatta, that is the ruling coalition surrogate Esa Damfa, has called on the leader of the former ruling APRC party, Fabakary Tombong Jatta, to desist from making baseless criticism of the Barrow administration and assume the role of a responsible opposition in a democracy to the cleanest as its tinted image after 22 years of Jammeh's rule. And the Supreme Court has also, the UDP petition has been dismissed. That is the High Court of the Gambia yesterday dismissed the election petition filed by the United Democratic Party against the victory of the Gambia Democratic Congress, GDC, in Kuntauru chairmanship election in last April. The UDP had claimed that the IEC officials made a mistake in tabulating the results. That error led to the declaration of GDC candidate Sekou Juara as the winner of the winner, and they want the results to be squashed by the court. However, the court, presided over by the Chief Justice Hassan Jallow, said the case was filed beyond the stipulated time for filing a petition, and therefore it cannot stand. And the decision of the court was greeted by jubilance by a handful of GDC supporters and officials who gathered at the court premises ahead of the ruling. The GDC youth mobilizer MC Cham said the party can now celebrate its victory in that hotly contested election. The managing editor of the Fourier newspaper, Samuel Sarr, yesterday appeared before the Jammeh Commission in relation to the publication made by the said newspaper on the land situated at Mandinaring. The publication, according to Mr. Sarr, was brought along bonded files of copies of the newspaper, which was published in June 2005. The Turkish government donated military equipment to the Gambia Armed Forces, that is on the point, and 72 aspiring migrants rescued. And that is a total of 72 aspiring migrants have been rescued by the South American ship from Panama, which was heading to Ivory Coast, 100 miles off the coast of the Guinea-Bissau. And according to the Point newspaper, at the time of going to press, they don't know the nationality of most of them. And on the Voice newspaper, UDP Kuntaro chairman election petition has been thrown away. They also carried the story. And was the new ID card contract tendered? That is as more as people continue to express concern of what they call the high cost of new identity cards scheduled to be issued to the general public on the 1st of October 2018. The last such concern came from the executive director of Kano Enterprise, Alaji Sajo Sen, otherwise known as Kano. And Barrow pays tribute to Mandela and calls for preventive diplomacy at the United Nations. And the GPU calls for thorough investigation in iAfrica journalist assault. Of recent, we have seen the assault of a GRTS cameraman during the burial of the mother of the former president, Fatou Assombi Bojang. And Keba Jefang, also a journalist, was also assaulted, as well as Babukar Manga was also assaulted by a paramilitary officer while covering the meeting of teachers who are on a sit-down strike. 5 years duration for the new ID card, as the Interior Minister, Mbalo, told the Foreign newspaper that the validity period for the new identity card is 5 years. In justifying the cost of the card, Mbalo said it is a biometric and has a feature that are of international standard. Many Gambians say the price of the ID card was $450, which they consider to be extremely expensive. Notifying him on the concern raised by people that the new ID cards are expensive, the Minister of Interior said the ID cards are statutory documents and it's not like the previous ones which were issued, and this is a new national identity document. Excuse me, this is a new national document of good quality. Even if you make the document for $100, some people will still complain, he stole the Foreign newspaper. Well, that's all we have for you on the newspapers today. And the President Barrow also, there has been a debate on social media as why the president chartered a flight to attend the United Nations General Assembly when his other colleagues in Sierra Leone and other parts of the continent and around the world, like the president of Mexico, said he will cringe if he had a flight from Mexico City to the New York City. And President Mada Bio of Sierra Leone was also seen boarding a public commercial flight from Freetown to New York. We have Mariam Sise of our newsroom has been out and about today and has been talking to people. What do they make of this decision when a country that has declared food insecurity, President hired a flight to attend the United Nations General Assembly? We will take a listen to that clip.
And receive 1 gigabyte of internet data for free.
I think what is important here is the purpose of the trip. If you look at, if you talk about the General Assembly, this is another platform where world leaders would converge and discuss about issues affecting countries and their people globally. So I think the issue of the president traveling doesn't matter much. What matters is, at the end of the day, is it fruitful? Does it have any positive bearing on the Gambian people? That's what matters here.
In the Constitution, we have different kind of ministries. You know, we have the Ministry of Agriculture, then we have the Ministry of Sports, Youth and Sport, you know. So I believe when it comes to, since when we have different kind of ministries, I think it is the responsibility of the Ministry of Agriculture, you know. Because what I believe, the farmers are giving a lot of complaints saying that, you know, there's no realism, such like that, you know. I would say that, well, I would take a break and think of saying, is this kind of problem is being communicated to the right people? Because I believe this question should not go direct to the president. but it has to pass through some channels. That's the Ministry of Agriculture. Then at that level, if nothing can be done, then it can launch to the president. So right now, I don't think whether complaints can go directly to the president.
A government is not one individual man, so it has to do with a lot of other sectors. That's where you have the ministers, that's where you have the permanent secretaries as the head of the departments or ministries. So they all have a role to play. But the world is a global village now. So people have to go out and do networking for us to be able to get to where we want.
The travel is key because he's not the only president who's going to be there. And then they will talk about things that have to deal with the national development. And we know the current situation of the Gambia. Moreover, when we talk about security, a lot of things are lacking. So I think it's very much necessary. Despite people talking about the cost, amidst the speculation on the cost of the traveling or whatever, it's necessary. If you look at the Gambian currency, we can talk about millions. But if you look at other countries, what they are spending is far more greater than the amount that our president is spending to travel. But I think the travel is necessary. Yeah, it's very much necessary in the development of the country. Yeah.
From AfriCell, it's always real and it's for free.
Where AfriCell goes, no one has the speed to follow.
Welcome back after that report, the Gambians expressing their views. And on the line now, I have the deputy party leader of the APRC party, Osman Rambo Jara. He's on the line now. Hello, Rambo.
Yes, hello, Walid.
Thank you for your time.
Yes.
I'm sure you may have heard that the president had chartered a flight from here to New York City to attend the United Nations General Assembly. What do you make of this?
It's very sad, to be honest with you, because we just recently, sometime last week, that the vice president, who happens to be Usainu Dabo, looking for support because he believed that there will be famine in this country.
Right.
And a week later, we understand that the President of the Republic, Adama Barrow, has chartered a private jet, which costs around $17,000 per hour,
yes,
to take him to the UNGA. And that is separate from the delegation's plane.
Yes.
So that is, I think it's very extreme. It's a big way of wasting our tax money.
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, and I think the money used to hire that jet could have been put into proper use.
Such as?
Because right now the teachers are on an ongoing strike indefinitely.
Yeah.
And the amount of money used to hire that jet definitely could help solve some of those problems.
Interesting. So, yeah, you are in opposition. Your government was in power, but now you have been out of government. What do you think the government should focus on now that a crop failure has been declared, and like you said, the teachers also are on strike?
My brother, there are a lot of things that should be prioritized by this government rather than spending. Because was it last week, we have that they spent over $230 million only on travel and per diem.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it seems like we're having some hungry wolves who
No.
want to feed themselves. And there are a lot of priorities that the government has to focus on. One is the teachers, two is the hospitals, frankly speaking. And my brother, to be honest with you, we have a lot of beggars in this country. People are starving. Civilizedly, they are starving. They can't find 3 meals a day. One is a problem, not more 3.
Now,
I hope you understand.
Yeah, I understand, yes.
Yeah.
Now, Fabakary last time rated Barrow 25 out of 100. How would you rate Barrow out of 100?
Yeah, that was even too much. Honestly speaking, I rated 7.
7.
To be honest with you, yes.
Okay, in what areas would you credit him?
President Barrow is no match to President Jammeh, frankly speaking. In terms of service delivery, in terms of caring for your people, in terms of putting the country first before everything, they are no match. But I rate him 7. 7.
Now, what will be your message to the government, particularly President Adama Barrow, as far as...
No, actually, my brother, not to the government, but to the people of the Gambia.
Right.
This is a wake-up call for everybody. We're going into the 19th month, since these people took over the helm of this country. We are yet to see a single delivery that is of beneficial to the entire Gambian population. We are yet to see it. Frankly speaking, these people are not in for the government, they are in for themselves. You know, they said our country, we are illiterate, but at least we did deliver. But we have a government who is in place and they are all literate and they cannot deliver. So, really, it's very sad. Very, very sad.
Okay. Yes, carry on.
My brother, we have a problem.
Okay.
You remember that they said the Commission of Inquiry seized the tractors from the farmers.
Yeah.
I believe you are aware of that.
Commission of Inquiries?
Yes. It was a directive, I believe, from the Commission of Inquiry to collect all tractors that were given to farmers by President Jammeh.
Yes.
Those tractors were never put into use. Of course, they are the farming. Because if you travel up country, you'll see that most of the farmland, they are not in use. Why? Because those tractors were taken away from them. Yeah. Those were the tractors they were using to till their farms. So if you take those from the farm, let us not put it on rain. No, I don't believe that. We the executive of the APRC, we have our farm and it's doing super. It's doing fantastic.
Okay.
Because we are still with the ideology of eat what you grow and grow what you eat. Yeah. But you know, my brother, we have vision. Our government was full with visions. But since January 2017, we didn't hear any vision from this government. So, because they don't have any.
So
we have a long way to go.
As far as Rambo Jara is concerned, the crop failure as claimed by the government is not only as a result of the rain, but as a result of the farming equipment seized from farmers
in
the country.
Seized from the farmers, yes, absolutely. You put that on first. The rain is secondary, but seizing those tractors from the farmers is primary. That is the main cause of this famine he is talking about. Travel up country and see for yourself. Farms that were you used to be farmed by farmers are no longer in use. Why? Because they don't have machinery. This is the point. And those tractors and so on, they are all still parked at the commissioner's office, at the police station. You can see them when you are traveling on the Trans-Gambia highway. Yeah. And this was done since when we were on last year. So for what use? For what reason?
Finally, what will be your message to the public, general public, as a deputy?
My message to Gambians is Alal Nyaile.
Okay.
Gambians should wake up by now. Let us wake up from our sleeping slumber and begin to see the realm of possibilities that is ours. The only party that can save this country is the mighty APRC. Whether one likes it or not, we have done it before and it's still visible. We are the guys who can take control of this country, who can deliver to the people, because we believe in service delivery. Unfortunately, we had a very development-oriented dictator, but they send him away. Unfortunately, they bring in folks. No, they can't deliver. So, my brother, they cannot deliver.
As far as Rambo...
So for Gambia to come back on track, we must vote in the mighty APRC back into power.
So as far as you are concerned, you prefer a dictator you know than a democrat you don't know?
No, I prefer a dictator who is development-oriented.
A dictator that is development-oriented.
And that was Bagli Mansa. He was a development-oriented dictator.
Okay, and how would you describe Barrow, a democrat? Claim, quote-unquote, a democrat.
No, my brother, let us not talk about democracy.
No, I'm just putting quote-unquote here.
There is no true democracy nowhere in the world.
Yes.
Democracy doesn't exist. It's just a slip of the tongue. To achieve democracy is very difficult. Why are they arresting our people? How many APRC militants were arrested just because of making audios? That doesn't go well with the government. Myself, I was a victim. Okay. I was calling for correction. Now, the ongoing license case is still there. Omar Toure, my party leader himself, Honorable Fabakar Tembongata, he was calling for correction, and a lot more. Rambo,
let me just shed light on this issue you mentioned. I'm not aware of unfortunately, it happened that I don't know. But for Fabakary, he was questioned because they said he asked the government to release the officers who were under detention. Omar Toure allegedly insulted the then Foreign Minister, now Vice President Ousainou Darboe, and Barrow, and he said Darboe signed a deportation agreement with European countries to return Gambians back to the country. And for the Lycene, he insulted an entire ethnic group. So, do you see that? How do you make up that? You see that as a witch hunt, or how
anyway,
about? Yeah.
I have listened carefully to the wording of Lycene in that audio.
Okay.
Lycene is referring to the Mandinkas who were making, if I make audios to other tribes.
Yeah.
He differentiated.
Okay, okay, Rambo, we're having
He was called in and they told him to define what he means, and he said it. But my brother, we have a similar case.
Okay.
There is a lady called, was it Kalasuso from Dipakunda? She insulted the entire Sarafule community of the Gambia.
Right.
But she is still a free woman. She's walking about the streets, up and down. She's not been arrested. She's not been questioned. She's not been taken to court. I'm a Mandinka. My father is Mandinka. My mother is Mandinka. But what I believe in is being Gambian. That is what is more important. Tribe doesn't make you anything.
Right. I want you to enlighten me on something. Like you said, you listen to Lycene's audio. What is the difference between Mandinka and Source, like Lai said in his audio?
Lycene was referring to the sources who, they are not originally Gambian. They are not Gambian origin. They are sources from other parts of West Africa. Those are the ones he is referring to, according to what I understand from the audio.
But is Mandinka and Source not the same? Like, we call it in Mandinka Surwal and Wolof. Is that not? When somebody say Wolof and
anyway,
yeah.
I am going by the definition.
Definition.
In case.
Okay, now.
That's what I'm telling you.
As far as you are concerned, Lycene did not insult Mandinkas, if I may get it right. Or,
anyway, he said sources, not Mandinkas.
Which means you are not offended as far as you are concerned, because you are not sources.
No, I am not bothered.
You are not bothered because
I don't feel insulted. To be honest with you, I don't feel insulted. Because that is my opinion. That is my personal opinion.
Because you are a Mandinka, not source, right?
It doesn't matter. I'm a Gambian, my brother. That is what is most important. I am a Gambian.
Okay. So this.
Yes, because we always say Gambia first. Tribe is secondary.
Yeah.
But Gambia is first. So we should try at all costs to maintain the peace and stability that Babil Mansa has helped us build over the past 22 years. During his time, we don't hear things like this. But why now? Who is in control of the Gambia? Who has the final say? During Babil Mansa's time, once he spoke, the next week, those in Koina will call it Babil Mansa said this. But now, no.
Now, are you still hopeful that your party will come to power in this country?
Oh, yes. I am 99.9% hopeful that APRC is bouncing back in the next coming presidential election by the power of Allah.
Rambo, people have been using social media, or WhatsApp, one can say, and kind of abusing it. What will be your message to the general public? Politics will all. I said
myself, I'm a victim.
Okay.
I think you have had so many audios about Rambo.
Right.
But you know what is the best part?
No.
I do not respond. Because I know what they are saying are only allegations. So if I respond, it means it's definitely true. But those people, I meet them on the street and they never dare to say a word to me.
Okay.
So they are only looking for cheap popularity. Social media is definitely abused in this country. But when did that happen? As soon as Babil Mansa left the shore of the Gambia. Because before, if you are to say something on social media, you have to make sure what you are saying is true. But nowadays, people, they will just sit and allege. Like, for example, yesterday I was forced to respond to an audio.
Yeah.
The audio was not about me, but it was about a guy who said Babil Mansa was arrested in a plane at the airport in Equatorial Guinea. That is the most unfounded story I have ever came across social media. It's a blatant lie. The guy was lying to his teeth. It wasn't true.
Will he come back to this country one day, Babil Mansa?
Oh, yes.
How soon?
By the power of Allah, he will, and he said it, even the jinns cannot stop it when the time is up.
But according to people, the crimes he allegedly committed will not will not even allow him to come to this country. What do you say to
Yeah,
those
but
people?
were they witnesses to those crimes?
Well,
Did they witness any of his crimes?
these are witnesses and
It's
people.
just like at the ongoing commission of inquiry. Jammeh has took this amount of money, but where is the evidence? Where is the proof?
Okay, so when is
We are
Jammeh coming?
Muslims. We should be very careful with the way we see things.
Right.
Before you say Rambo is a killer, you have to prove that you saw me killing somebody.
Yeah.
But all these are campaigns to tarnish his image, to make people abandon him forever, and that cannot happen. People even love this guy more than when he was in power. And he's welcoming to this country. Wow. Don't miss it, Fatu Network. Don't miss it. It's going to be one of its kind.
How soon? End of year, first quarter of 2019? When? How soon is he coming back?
That I am not sure of yet.
Okay.
But I know that Babil Mata is coming home.
Finally, Rambo. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. You're most welcome.
That is Osman Rambo Jatta, the deputy party leader of the former ruling APRC party, and I've been talking about so many issues from Barrow chartering flight, among other issues in this country. I will also be trying to see if I can have Fatu Kamara online to update me on the ongoing activities at the United Nations General Assembly. And let me see if... Hello? I'm afraid Fatu is not available for now, but I will do try it once again. Like as you heard in the news review there, Osman Rambo Jatta said, Jammeh will be back in this country. He did not say when, but he said the former president will be back in the country, and like I asked him, end of this year or first quarter of 2019, but he could not respond to that. Let's try Fatu once again. If not available, we will draw the curtain here. I'm afraid Fatu is not available, so viewers, that's all we have for you today. From me, Amar Wali, and my team, we thank you all for your time. Oh, okay. Fatu is on the line. Hello, Fatu.
Yes.
Oh, okay, welcome. I was about to even end the program now, but thank God you are online. How are you doing today?
Yes. Thank you, sir. Yes, just hold on 1 second. Let me just move away from where I am.
All right. Okay.
Yes, Omar. Yes, I'm sorry. Like I told you, I'm in the process of finishing something up. Yes, so I'm here.
Okay. I know you are in DC, right?
Yes, I am I'm around there. around the Virginia area. Yes.
Okay. Now I am talking to you in your capacity as a journalist, not my co-host. Is that okay?
Well, I'm not here as a journalist. I'm just,
Okay, you put something on your Facebook that you have been reliably informed that the chartered flight carried only the president, the wife, and the director of press.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you enlighten more on that? Can you throw more on that? What more do you know about the whole thing?
Yes. What it is actually we saw that a Vista flight. Transported President Barrow to Washington, and then we've been following that and saw online that a lot of other presidents travel commercial, and then it brought about the question, why a charter flight? And because of that, we decided to dig into that and try to find out what is this Vesta about, and then how many people did it take? Did it take the entire delegation? Because that way it could save us money. And then we realized that this even cost us more. We all know, I'm sure they said about between $15,000 to $17,000 is what it is per hour. And in addition to that, all the other ministers and the camera crew also went on a commercial flight. So that means that it cost us more. So that is the concern that we have, especially this came after your interview with lawyer Usainu Dabo. Yeah,
that there is food insecurity. I can't see your face. I think you are kind of looking. Can you look into the camera?
No, it's because I don't have my earpiece, so I'm listening. I'm trying to listen. So maybe you should take the camera.
Okay.
If you can take the camera off, that will be
okay.
Good.
It's okay. Yeah. Okay. You have seen other presidents. You posted a picture of the Sierra Leonean president Julius Maada Bio. Do you know the plane he used to go to the United States? Was it
what?
Did the Sierra Leonean president Julius Maada Bio, did he also charter a flight, or he boarded?
No. He traveled on Brussels Airlines.
Okay.
And looking at the video that is posted on social media, you would see that the wife was heading to the economy class. It was even the air hostess that said to her, no, you have to go to the business class. So you can see that there was no red carpet when he was traveling, and also there was no long lines of people, seeing him off. So he definitely, the way that he traveled was very simple, and I think that got the attention of a lot of people. So that's why it's all over social media today. Well, he is definitely here. Julius Maada Bio and his delegation are here.
Okay. Finally, okay. What more can you tell us about I know you are moving to New York, but what more can you tell us about the Sierra Leonean delegation?
Well, I know that they are here, and it's only 3 of them. I think he only came with about 3 ministers.
Okay.
And the welcome that he had, we also saw that his people are very happy with him. I think Barrow had the same reception, or even more than that, before when he first came in, because we trusted him, and we know that this guy, was there all along everything that Jammeh was doing. So we thought Barrow was going to be different and have empathy for the people of Gambia until we started seeing this. I can tell you, I've never been this angry. Like, from last night until this morning, reading through everything that is happening and how Barrow does not seem to care. So I had discussions with a lot of people trying to find out what they think is the problem here. Well, most of the people that you talk to will tell you is the people around him. But I don't think that it is the people around him. I think Barrow himself has an issue, has a problem. Because if the people around you want to do something, you should be able to tell them, I would not do this because my people are threatened with food insecurity. And if I want to do this, it may not tell well for them. So I think this whole thing, we're going to blame Adama Barrow entirely and solely for everything that is happening. It's very unfortunate, Omar. We are all let down. I cried in my heart today, looking at all these things that are happening. The Mexican president, you saw him on a private jet. Yeah. The Tanzanian president, on a commercial jet. The Tanzanian president on a commercial jet. Maada Bio on a commercial jet. I mean, you would not come out from the plane. The plane would not go all the way to the hotel. It will stop at the airport, and at some point you have to walk. Who is Barrow trying to impress? And if you look at his agenda too, you look at the First Lady of Sierra Leone, they've put everything on their Facebook. Maada Bio is meeting the people on this day, he's speaking on this day. Everything is out there. We saw Fatoumata Bah sitting next to the husband at the General Assembly. What is she doing there? What is her role? Nobody knows. I mean, we're all disappointed. To tell you the truth, I am very, very disappointed. I never spoke openly about this, but this is how I'm feeling today. I'm disappointed. And if you look at my Facebook, I used to have the photo of Barrow on the side with me in Freetown. I removed it. Because that is how I feel. I feel that this guy has no empathy for Gambia. And from now on, I would not support President Barrow, because I was saying, let's give... Yeah, I'm sorry. I was saying, let's give him a chance. Right. In a lot of situations, when people talk, I would say, give him a chance. But I think right now, this man is definitely not ready for prime time. And I'm not going to be part of that. Even if UDP decides they want to go with him, it's fine with them. But I think for me, he lost me. All right. Thank you so much. So I want you to be in the United Nations to be filing me stories, okay? So that you will not be crying. Oh. Yes, boss. If you can pay me, if you can afford it, I will. And make sure you don't charter the flight when coming back. Okay, no problem. Okay. Thank you so much, Fatou. Bye-bye. Well, that's Fatou Camara there, my co-host in Washington, D.C. She'll be at the United Nations also with the Sierra Leonean First Lady Fatima Jabi Maada Bio. Well, viewers, that's all we have for you today. From me, Omar Wali, thank you so much.